we finally have a game to see what David Pagou has to offer for the Cameroonian football fans. He's spoken about discipline and he's spoken about the players being competitive, which means no player is actually guaranteed a spot. And that's why we have seen this team play in such a manner. They came out with lots of energy in their 1-0 win against Gabon. Keep in mind that 3/4 of this team have not played together, and neither have they played in an African Cup of Nations. In the starting 11, we had 8 players that had not been in an African Cup of Nations. So that tells you the amount of difficulty, given that this team had only 10 days or barely 10 days to train. And the way they came out with the fighting spirit, that gave the fans, something to ponder. Most of us did not know who David Pagou was because we had never seen him coach. So there were some doubts. However, he has given lots of new players a platform to showcase their skills. And I must tell you this, I was impressed with some of the players. Koto, Chemalon, Baleba, and of course, the scorer and assist man. I'm talking about Kale Young and Buemo. Let's not get ahead of ourselves because this is just one game, just 90 minutes. And of course, it's a team like Gabon. We shall face stronger teams, better teams. Cameroon will definitely face Ivory Coast. And Cameroon must come out to play with the same energy. The reason I say the same energy is because when you play teams that have chemistry, teams that are better than you must match their energy or surpass their energy in order to give yourself a chance to actually win all 3 points. When I look at the way Cameroon played against Gabon, there were lots of long balls. With long balls, it's a 50-50. Of course, Cameroon scored from the long balls, but we will need to do much more better against a team like Ivory Coast. Firstly, Cameroon must defend the wings because Ivory Coast is a team that is very dangerous from the wings. Secondly, we must try to win the midfield. Ivory Coast is more experienced in the midfield. Okay, they have a midfield trio that has been playing for a long time. Meanwhile, Cameroon, we are in transition. Baleba did well, and a guy like Baleba is not match fit. When I say match fitness, I'm talking about playing 90 minutes. We haven't seen that with his club. A guy like Avon, who plays in France, he needs to partner well with Baleba because I've seen some qualities of Baleba. He carries the ball well. However, when he carries the ball and make the runs beyond defensive line, someone needs to cover him because when he loses that ball, our backline is exposed, So these are things that we need to keep an eye on when Cameroon actually plays Ivory Coast, which will not be easy. However, c'est le continent, as we all said, so that Hemle spirit, that fighting spirit, will come good. Another guy that I'm counting on is Mbuemo. The role that he played against Gabon gave him the freedom to go right, left, and he's very elusive in open space. However, when he plays central, I've seen that some of his touches are heavy. He needs to adapt himself, to that role, playing central. He did that in Brentford when he paired up with Wesa. So let's just expect that he's pairing together with a guy like Carl Young or maybe Magri or Kofane. Because one of the things in football that is very difficult is having center forwards like the ones Cameroon does have. They are young. Magri, 24. Carl Young, 21 going to 22. Kofane, 19. I bet you when these guys gather experience in 2 4 years, Cameroon will be a totally different team. So we have to give credit where it's due. The squad called by Pagou is one for the future. I think Cameroon really has a chance. Of course, Cameroon will make it to the knockout stages. This I cannot even ponder on, because even if we lose against a team like Ivory Coast, we still have Mozambique in that last game. However, the game against Ivory Coast, I think Cameroon can actually draw that game. Ivory Coast, I saw them play it against Mozambique. They did not impress me. Of course, Ahmad is very, very dangerous winger. He brings danger. He knows how to play in tight spaces. But I think Cameroon can actually defend well against Ahmad.